What's the matter with you? Check it out. I was in my notes, right? And I realized this is just, agnostic for you alchemical esoteric people. Uh, um but I was I realized, cuz I traveled to the west while I was over there. Spiritually I was heightened. Um but I was surrounded by evil, right? There's like traveling to the west made me realize that I was in Sodom and Gomorrah because of the wickedness that goes on over there. On the front, TV commercials, pictures, they make it look good, but the reality of it was just monstrous, monstrous, um, very ugly. And I'm in there like this anomaly because I broke pattern. I'm born and raised uh, from my city. I don't gotta say it, but P-Town. And once you break out of that routine, you become an anomaly. Especially if you take what was in that normal state to another complete different state, but still, having the foundation of where you came from in that other place, and that caused the whole uh, collapse, and they called it the virus because people over there didn't come over here. It was like over there, and then so the fabric of space broke. And I caused a lot of disturbances, as what they call, but they were hating mostly. So again, I'm in this enemy state, surrounded by evil, and I learned. This is where I learned that I couldn't trust my own spirit. So there's levels to it, but for the most part, while I was over there, I could not trust my spirit, not even in my dreams, because came to a point, right? I'm dreaming. Now I know myself, you know what I mean? I know myself pretty good. Certain things I would never do, no matter what. You come up with money, it's not. I would never, bend or fold, like type of stuff like that. So when I started seeing in my dreams that I was doing those very things that go against my nature and my whole philosophy, ideology, that's when I knew um, that even spirits you couldn't trust, you know. Uh, at that point, I realized, wait a minute, I'm in enemy territory. They contaminated and polluted my vessel. So this happened with time, of course. It was over time that I acquired this awareness to the point that I realized its defects. And I'm in there doing nothing but time, solitude, confinement most of the time, because I didn't know how to react in population. So they kind of put me to the side, when you don't want to go to and fit in and go with the pattern, or the routines. They kind of like put you to the side and shit, let you be on your own, sitting, what I mean? So that's what they did with me. But putting me to the side was usually like, being in the whole clinics, shit, like, a lot of privacy and shit. So I got to be aware, and then the information that was coming, I wasn't able to trust, because you couldn't trust anybody. Even the people that try to come and act lost, or like they didn't know what was going on, and they would go to you seeking for guidance. Even those, you could read that they were playing dumb, and it was like a setup just to try to get some info out of you, um, to then go to their click, and then release all that information they got from you. So I had to be ahead of that, and read into that. They want to be friends, what I mean, talk or ask, coming in like in question forms, like they don't know what's going on, like tourists, almost looking like a tourist, and you see it like innocent, and then you buy into it, and then you get caught. But I would peep that, and I wouldn't engage too much, uh I would make it hard for them to try to like get me to speak, because I didn't want to share no information, because what I was seeing was a lot of informants, a lot of lies. At that time, like I said, I couldn't even trust my own dreams. What's that? This is one of those journeys I think a legend has to go through to experience in life. You would never understand what I'm speaking unless you went through it with experience. You know what I mean? So you can only be like, yeah, I feel you. You know what I mean? But you really don't know what's going on until you've undergone and stressed you know the life in you. So I survived. I made it out. I'm one of those that made it out on the other side, and you don't get to see a lot of those people. But instead of like hating, you should be like congratulating, because you need people like that. You need people that made it out, and could live to tell the story. And I'm one of those. You could call me like a vet, though I won't put it on an application. So yeah, man. So what I'm saying is, there's levels to it. Spirits end up being evil too, and they could come disguised in the form of like, beautiful things, nice, what I mean, all what you want, but they're molding you. They're like, okay, subconsciously, like, oh, he's buying into this. Okay, little by little they'll feed you more, and then they'll grab you in another way, and before you know it, you start playing into that in real life, externally. All that shit that came about internally, through trespassing means, by violating your privacy when you're in your deepest sleep, subconscious, unconscious and shit. And I started peeping that, what I mean, because like I said, I wouldn't sleep. I would be meditating, and I try to stay up all night, but then there's moments where you doze. You see somebody like, and then they wake themselves up again. They kind of doze, and those in moments that I've undergone, the images that was seen from my observation, uh, was all lies. Was all the enemy, because they were things that I wouldn't do. Now this is something that comes, with years of training. You gotta know who you are, and there comes a point where you have to be in control of the spirit and not let the spirit control you. And a lot of people were letting the spirit control them, but the spirit was penetrated by wickedness over there. It was no like, oh, let me sleep and it's gonna be angels and everybody protecting me. No, it was, the minute you're unconscious, there's a flood of evil, but they're all disguised, all angelic, and like smoky bluey cloud, and you believe it's all friendly and shit, but that's how they get you. You know what I mean? So I had to be aware of that shit, and I guess that grew another level of psychology, because now you're talking into the realms of the spirit, and the levels of it. So anyway, that's just that'll for stay tuned for another lesson on that.